there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, today we're talking Love and Marriage Huntsville. You guys know why you were here today. We are talking because we need to talk about Carlos King's Messy Monday, aka Slander Mill Monday, you guys. It's just non-stop, right? And his Messy Mondays with Dr. Heavenly that they pre-game for, that they decide, hey, we're just going to go in and let have, right? And I found a lot of hypocrisy that was taking place in this live, and I just couldn't take it seriously, right? You know, first they want to go in again on the content creator, and you know, now Dr. Heavenly is saying that people who are, you know, who talk negatively about somebody, or they feel they do things that might be too far against somebody, is because they're jealous of them and they want their life in relation to Stormy. And my question is, Dr. Heavenly, well, what about your actions on Married to Medicine? One could argue that you were jealous of Mariah and that you wanted Mariah's life, and didn't you admit that you were jealous because she reminded you of your sister? So I am just trying to figure out, like, are you guys keeping the same energy as it applies to yourself? And what about you, Carlos? All of the messy things that you've said about reality stars in the past, and how you go specifically harder in the paint for certain ones that you feel intimidated by, or that you don't like, that got to a certain level of success that is on the same level or perhaps surpasses you, and you then trash their name and drag them. And sometimes, some of them, when you need clicks and views for an interview, some of them will give in and give an interview, but the first thing they do is they call you out. And they said, you said X, Y, and Z about me. Why? So I find it very interesting that you guys seem to be therapists, you guys seem to be psychologists and psychiatrists, and you guys all seem to know, apparently, mental health all of a sudden. You guys seem to know the psychology of what goes on in people's brains as to why they do the things that they do. But when the spotlights turn back on yourself and you exhibit these same behaviors, wouldn't that be the same thing? Wouldn't that mean that you're jealous as well? Wouldn't that mean that this blatant smear campaign against Mel every week is jealousy? Wouldn't this blatant smear campaign every week would be projection? Wouldn't this blatant smear campaign every week mean that there's something in Mel's life that you want? And then Dr. Heavenly to group herself and Melody and Phaedra as one because they're all Scorpios, meaning and basically saying that they're all vindictive and all these things and conniving. No. And this is the thing, you guys, you know, this is the dangerous thing about Zodiacs, right? Because, you know, there's this fine line, there's this issue, especially in our community, as far as the line if you are a Christian and you believe in God, versus the people who go hard on, you know, the law of attraction, I'm spiritual, you know, I can say whatever I want and make it my life and not include God for the reasons that you have the blessings. And then we get into the sector of, you know, astrology, right? And that's a whole nother dynamic, right? Astrology, numerology, you name it. like there's all kinds, right? And yes, to an extent, right? I'll give you this, to an extent, as far as zodiac signs go, right? In certain aspects, I can see how, yes, certain characteristics of X, Y, and Z, sometimes it applies, but sometimes it doesn't, you guys. And the other piece of that as well is you can't just focus in, and now I'm about to get on a soapbox that I didn't want to get on, but you can't just focus in on what their zodiac sign is in pertaining to what their sun sign is, because it's really their moon and ascending sign that's going to explain their behavior and how they move and why they do the things that they do. So officially they may be a Scorpio, but they may also have Virgo tendencies. They may also have Leo tendencies. They may also have Sagittarius tendencies. We don't know. right? But you can go down an entire rabbit hole. If you're going to try to blame astrology on somebody's behavior, here's the basics, you guys. Here's the basics. Either you're a good person or you're not. Either you're a messy person or you're not. Either you know right from wrong or you do not. And that has nothing to do, you guys, with zodiac signs, right? That has nothing to do with upbringing, because again, you can be brought up by the best of parents, by the best of families, and still go out and do foolery. Just like you can have a hard life growing up and not have the best, home life situation and decide to turn your life for good when you become an adult and live a completely different life. So again, there's no one size that fits all. But if you watch these weekly Messy Mondays with Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly, they want you to think that their opinion is what matters. And Carlos King, once again, pivoting away from the Mel and Melometers talks, but likes to set it up as a layup to Dr. Heavenly to speak on. And now the narrative is, the Melometers have gone too far, right? But here's my thing. You can't just put people into one box and one category. And I heard what you said, Carlos King. You were trying to make it seem like, everybody's their own individual and every fan base has a few bad apples. Well, why is it, Carlos King, then, that the narrative is being presented for, the entire season thus far? That the Melometers are deplorable, that the Melometers are a cult, that the Melometers are, stalking people, harassing people, doing all these things. Why are those narratives being put out there? But you guys never show the receipts of what makes a Melometer, as you would say, quote unquote, deplorable. You never provide the receipts of the Melometers that allegedly are at somebody's house and seeing what they're doing, parked outside their house to see if they really live there, to see what's happening, right? I still have not heard, or seen any produced receipts to validate those claims. And my biggest thing, Carlos, that I will continue to say in every video, is just because somebody doesn't see it for the other cast members of the show. Just because people may have an axe to grind with other people in the show, whether it is a storyline they're not feeling well, whether it's the person themselves, whether they feel the person just isn't who they say they are, or they feel the person is too grimy, they feel the person is too messy, they feel the person is doing too much. Why is the assumption that if something negative happens and you get into it with a fan or a fan doesn't see it for you, you assume they're a Melometer? You assume that they're a Melo supporter. You guys do not have the nuance or the wherewithal or the brain cells to think, gee, maybe there could be qualities about me that people don't like that have absolutely nothing to do with whether or not they like or support Mel, right? But the narrative it won't math that way, right? The math has to math that only Mel and Mel supporters and her fan base are the cause of everybody's problems, are the cause of anything and everything negative happening to them. And that Mel is this puppet master behind the scenes that is telling everybody what to do. Mel is running this cult, you guys. Mel is telling everybody to activate again. Still don't see receipts of that. Where's the receipts of Mel telling people to activate? Mel telling people to spread hate to other people? Where are the receipts? I will keep asking. But again, if you repeat the same talking points enough times, just like what happened with Trump, just like what happened with Make America Great Again, people start to believe it. And then it's funny because then the same people want to pick and choose what receipts they want to believe or want to produce, right? Because if you say something on the opposite spectrum, now they want receipts, but you don't provide the receipts. But you have the 10 talking points you're going to say each time if you need to, put down Mel and the Melometers. And I'm peeping Carlos's game. He is, really trying to make it seem as though Mel doesn't exist and Mel's fans don't exist, right? And he's really just talking as if, she's not even on the show anymore. But he makes it a point to mention whenever somebody else is saying something mean about Mel or her fan base. He gets giddy like a child, like a kid. only for Dr. Heavenly to handle out, those punches. And Dr. Heavenly's claiming that she has people restricted and she can't see comments or whatever on Instagram. Listen, they can say whatever they want to, you guys. Everybody can say what they want to. Even LeBron James says that he doesn't care what people say about him. But even he has directly responded to things that he claims that he doesn't know anything about people saying about him. So in fact, why do you guys say stuff like that? Oh, I don't pay attention to the comments, or I don't pay. You know what people are saying about you. You know. Because here's the thing, Dr. Heavenly, if you didn't know, why do you always have to say, I take this back, or something I said, I need to walk this back, right? Because you wouldn't need to walk anything back if somebody didn't get to you and tell you were wrong about something. That would indicate that not everybody's restricted, right? And that some people are able to filter through and speak their mind to you that they didn't like something that you said. So I don't understand why you guys get on your platforms and do this. Listen, we've all seen positive and negative things said about us. There's no perfect person. There's no person who is liked by every single person known to man. Even the nicest person, even the sweetest person, even the most morally sound person has haters. Because people will think it's fake, or people want to tear them down, or people want to try to find something about them or about people that are in their life that they can utilize against them. It is always a tit for tat. So this notion that, trying to put the Melometers on the level, like I said, of the Beehive, of the Swifties, of the Navy, of the Barbs, of the Bartygain, of the Hotties, and all of these fan bases, it's not the same. You're talking about A-listers who have hundreds and millions of followers, who devote their time on social media to protect their faves and treat their faves like they are G.O.D. and can do no wrong. That is not the level that I get from the Melometers, you guys, or the Mel supporters, right? The vibe that I get is that people initially resonated with Mel because of what Martell did to her, because of what Martell put her through. But then when Mel left Martell for good and the switch up happened, and basically the cast just said, hey, we're in allegiance to Martell, screw you, nobody's going to want you as a single mother of four. Maybe Martell is right that you're a cheater. Maybe Martell is right that you stepped out and your youngest child isn't his. You guys put out all those narratives and left Mel in the dust, and then allowed people's moms to go on the show and attack her and incite violence, you guys. But all that was okay, because you didn't like Mel, right? But then that galvanized even a larger fan base because they were anti-bullying, and they saw through the tomfoolery. But now all of a sudden, because the fan base is too big, because the fan base is too much, because the fan base is getting too much clout, too much clicks and views, too much attention, too many subscribers, too many followers, too many comments, too much engagement, now you want to tear everything down. Now you want to burn the house down. And all these things. Because here's the thing, you're directly telling the people that you're bothered. You're bothered, you're intimidated by Mel, you're intimidated by Mel supporters, you're intimidated by Mel's success. And the power that she apparently has, the power that apparently Mel supporters and Melometers have, you guys. That if they really wanted to activate the show would be canceled. Like make it make sense. How do you guys all know, how does everybody in the cast seem to know that Mel tells her supporters to activate, you guys, unless you are the ones hiding in the bushes trying to, allegedly, see what's happening, even though you're blocked on your main channels, or you've blocked Mel on your main channels. But something has to give, you guys. Something has to give. Because I am tired of the hypocrisy. I am tired of the games. I am tired of the lies and the false narratives and all of the things. But just utilizing this messy Monday to just be on a smear campaign against Mel isn't it, you guys. To, again, you can hold everybody accountable, but to specifically take time each week to go extra hard against Mel claim that she's, going to isolate herself, and that she's isolating herself from the show, and that she's purposefully booking herself on days she has to film, when her own cast members specifically, wanted to book the events the same days as her, so they don't have to film with each other. But now all of a sudden you want to make it seem like it's an ensemble cast, when it's clear what you're doing. It's clear the division you are enabling yourself. But here's the thing. Actions have consequences. And no matter what type of nefarious things and nasty things you're trying to attempt behind the scenes, everything always gets exposed. And it's completely wrong and inappropriate if you're trying to undermine somebody else. If you're trying to take somebody else down, how can you sit on a platform and say that people are jealous of Stormy and they're trying to attack her business and, make allegations that they were trespassing and all these things, but then there's rumors of you being sneaky behind the scenes, allegedly, according to Candy Burris, trying to steal her life story of the Escape documentary and trying to allegedly go to her mom and try to get an interview for something you were trying to pitch to a network, to have the exclusive rights to an Escape documentary / story after they saw the success of how many millions of people tuned into the New Edition story. And Candy thought she was confiding in a friend. She didn't know she was confiding in somebody that was willing to go behind her back and try to push the idea themselves. And now we have history repeating themselves with this new show that I can't wait to see what the ratings are, that you're actively now promoting. But you are back on the mute challenge of Love and Marriage Huntsville, you guys. See how quickly that is? You convince enough people that the show is doing better than what it is, and then it's back to the mute challenge. Then it's back to gaslighting. Then it's back to manipulating the people and insulting the intelligence of your viewers. But something has to give. Like I always say, if I don't see it for you, if I don't rock with you, I'm not going to be wasting my time and my energy and my breath on you. For what? That's extra stress. That's extra anxiety and all of the things. I don't need that in my life, right? But you guys know mentioning Mel supporters, mentioning the Melometers is going to get you clicks and views, is going to get people to tune in to see what you have to say, including your haters, including the people who can't stand you, including the people who are sick of you. So you continue to do it. But you want to do it enough at this point, which is also carrying over into the show, because you want to now convince the casual viewers that don't know all of the behind the scenes stuff going on, that don't know all of the social media stuff going on. You want to convince them that Mel supporters and the Melometers are this huge cult, you guys. That they all have secret meetings, that they all, huddle somewhere, that they're all told on what videos to put out. I must be missing something because it's new information to me. I must be missing something because I have not seen nor heard such things, you guys. But again, I'm solo dolo. I upload my videos and I go. So nonetheless, again, but with that being said, nobody still can provide a receipt to back up what they're saying. So how am I supposed to believe you? But again, we've got to do better, you guys. Enough is enough. It is up and it's stuck for this obsession with Mel and the Melometers. And you guys need something else to talk about. You guys need another storyline to talk about. But the thing is, you guys don't care. You guys are enjoying this. That's the gag of it all. You guys are enjoying the mess. Because you think that you're convincing enough people to, go in a certain direction. And you feel that this is, your FU to Mel, so that this could either force her off the show or that she walks away from the show. And it's giving when people, have seen through you, have seen through who you really are, that then all of a sudden you want to try to, block their blessings and try to prevent them from thriving and trying to make work difficult for them and try to make things harder for them. when it doesn't need to be, you guys. Because here's the thing, an actual confident person who's happy with themselves, who's happy with their success, who's happy with all the things that they've got going on, they're not going to be wasting their time trying to take somebody else down, you guys. They're not going to be wasting their time trying to prevent somebody else from thriving. They're not going to waste their time of trying to set somebody up to be ambushed secretly, even though they know that their ex-husband is not allowed to be in contact with them. But again, this is what happens, you guys, when people can't handle certain people becoming bigger than them. It should be a blessing to you to see Black excellence, to see everybody succeed. You should want everybody to have a seat at the table. You should want every Black person to make money and be successful and be wealthy. That means they leave you alone. That means they're not begging you for anything. That means they're not asking you for any handouts or any help or anything. But you don't want that, because you think it's a threat to yourself. But a confident person wouldn't care. A confident person would know, hey, I've got my own talent. I've got my own niche. I'm going to be good no matter what. I'm going to be successful no matter what. So you're not going to care whether or not somebody's above you, below you, or making the same amount as you or whatever, because you know that you're still going to be on to greater and everything else. It may not be at the time that you want it to be, but it still can happen, or it still will happen. But to sabotage other people, though, there's consequences for that. And some of your faves are seeing the consequences of that, of trying to block other people, trying to talk down on others, trying to spread lies about people, and trying to push false narratives in hopes that that takes away from their love and support. There are consequences. Actions have consequences, people. And people never think about that in the moment. But it's funny you guys want to say, you want to pick and choose who goes too far. But there's people literally on your own show that have also gone too far. And you have done the mute challenge on because who it was against. So you need to own the hypocrisy of it all. And just come out and say it. Just come out and say you don't like Mel, you don't like the Melometers, you don't like Mel supporters, and therefore this is your, send off to Mel. In hopes that she finally gets the message you're trying to send to her. So, there's that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.